Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
Hello. Oh, everything is fine. No trouble here.
So today I am going to be reviewing the new movie from esteemed director Kathryn Bigelow, and that of course is Detroit, starring John Boyega, Will Poulter, and Anthony Mackie. And I feel that this movie, and me seeing this movie, couldn't have come at a more appropriate time after all the craziness that we all just witnessed in Charlottesville. When I heard that this movie was coming out, I actually heard about it once again far too late, because I heard about it just a couple of months before the summer. This was all about a famous event that happened with law enforcement encountering some black kids as well as some white kids in the Algiers Motel in Detroit around the time of the famous riots of 1967. At the time, the black community in Detroit, as well as other black communities around the nation, felt that they were slipping through the cracks and really weren't being given the attention and the help that they deserved to thrive as rising communities in society. And this also showed us a lot of what was going on in terms of the racial tensions as well as police brutality in some of these very dominant black neighborhoods. So I was anticipating this movie to be a very good movie, and this was a fantastic film. Once again, Kathryn Bigelow just brings the thunder. She brings the realism, she brings the turbulence, she makes you leave that theater really thinking and making you feel in shock and awe after such an incredible piece of film. She did that with her Academy Award-winning film for Best Picture, The Hurt Locker, and then she did it again with one of my personal favorite films, Zero Dark 30, and once again to give us a film based on real events that took place, especially during the times that they were, and how relatable they are to the times that we live in now. It's a fantastic movie. There are so many great things to be found in this movie, along with the atmosphere, along with the various characters that we're introduced to, not to mention some incredible acting. I am anticipating this movie to be showered with Oscar praise, especially in the acting category. I thought that even though he plays a horrible racist white cop, you cannot be nothing but impressed by a powerful performance from Will Poulter. And Anthony Mackie, while he did give me a fantastic performance, it was great to see him in another film outside of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I would have loved to see so much more from him, but every single time he was on camera, he just came at me 100%. Algie Smith, there's also a great performance from Algie Smith, who is this gentleman who was supposed to be in a soon-to-be famed Motown group called the Dramatics, and based on the, dare I say, dramatic experience that he had at the motel that night, it totally made me understand why he went in the direction that he did at the end of the day. We also had a very powerful performance from John Boyega, and his character was probably one of the most important characters in the film, because he plays a black security guard for a grocery store, and he is basically wrapped up in the whole event with the police and the National Guard in this time in Detroit, and it's amazing how he was really just set on keeping the peace. It didn't matter whether you were black or you were white, he just wanted to make sure that nobody ended up hurt. He also had Hannah Murray from Game of Thrones. She plays Gilly. She played one of the white girls who got caught up in this whole mess, and she was one of the best parts of this film. I could not believe the performance that she gave me, and I want her nominated for a Best Supporting Actress role. Please! I love her in Game of Thrones, but she has such a small role, and while this wasn't the main role, she made her presence known, and she just blew my mind. This was the biggest surprise that I had gotten from a female performance since Melissa Benoist in another one of my favorite films of this year, and that was Patriots Day. This is a story that a lot of people don't know much about. It's not a great story to talk about. It's not a story that America should be proud of as a whole. But one of the other things that I really appreciated about Kathryn Bigelow's film was the fact that even though we saw some of the darkest points in humanity, we also saw some true heroics and some true saving graces on both sides of the coin. But on a sad note, I'm not going to be giving this movie a perfect score, and it's because of the fact that I felt that the last half hour of this film really wasn't needed, and I felt that it caused the film to drag on. While I believe that the events in the last half hour of the film were very important to be disclosed, this could have been done in a much more concise manner, or it could have just been a very nice worded epilogue at the end of the film, because the one that we actually do get at the end of the film really is sort of unnecessary when I think about it. I feel that if they would have gone in a different direction like I suggested, this really would have been the perfect film. It's a 2.5 hour long film, guys. It's very dramatic. It will definitely kick you in the face and leave you thinking, but also leave you exhausted. But it's definitely one of the better films to come out this year. Definitely one of the best, I might say. And if you want to see this hidden piece of American history, because I always say that whether it was a good time or a dark time, history is history, and if we forget it, we are doomed to repeat it. And especially with all of the events that happened in Charlottesville, I think we can all learn from a message like that. Unfortunately, this is not a movie that I want to own on DVD, but this is a movie that I would gladly see again numerous times because of the impact that it left on me. I probably feel that I will see it just as often as I see a movie like Zero Dark 30, but Catherine Bigelow should get all of the acclaim. I feel that this will be a movie you will hear about during Oscar time, and I'm going to be giving Detroit 3.5 stars out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please put your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Detroit, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.